Excalibur. Excalibur is the face of Warframe and one of the first frames we ever encountered. Built around swordsmanship, he is the perfect all-rounder. His signature Exalted Blade creates waves of energy with every swing, allowing him to cut through entire groups of enemies. While simple to learn, Excalibur remains one of the strongest melee-focused Warframes in the game. Mag controls magnetic energy, making heavily armored enemies her specialty. Many new players underestimate Mag because of her low survivability, but against heavily armored enemies, she becomes one of the deadliest Warframes. She can strip defenses, pull enemies together, and create magnetizing bubbles that trap bullets and massively increase damage. Although she looks fragile, a skilled mech can wipe out entire rooms by turning enemy fire against itself. Volt harnesses electricity to become one of Warframe's fastest and most versatile frames. His speed ability boosts movement and melee attacks, while Electric Shield protects allies. Volt isn't just fast, he's one of the few Warframes that dominates both beginner missions and endgame Eidolon hunting. Whether you're farming relics or hunting Eidolons, Volt has remained one of the game's most useful Warframes for years. Rhino is Warframe's living tank. His famous iron skin surrounds him with a nearly unbreakable layer of armor, allowing him to ignore huge amounts of damage. Rhino is also one of the first Warframes most players craft because of how early his blueprints become available. Even years later, veteran players still bring Rhino into Steelpath, simply because Roar remains one of the strongest universal damage buffs in the entire game. Rhino is often recommended for new players because he can survive almost anything while making the entire squad stronger. Hey Tenno, if you're enjoying the content so far, a sub would be appreciated. Enjoy the video. Loki proves that you don't need raw power to dominate the battlefield. Instead of fighting head-on, he specializes in deception. Loki defines stealth play. Experienced players still use him for spy missions because enemies simply can't fight what they can see. Although no longer considered the strongest frame, Loki remains one of Warframe's greatest stealth specialists. Ember controls devastating fire abilities capable of burning entire armies alive. She rains meteors from the skies, ignites enemies across huge arenas, and grows stronger as the battlefield heats up. Once famous for effortlessly clearing missions, Ember was later reworked into a more active caster, while keeping her identity as Warframe's Master of Fire. Frost. When defense missions become difficult, Frost is often the answer. His iconic snow globe creates a protective barrier that blocks incoming attacks, making him invaluable for defending objectives. Combined with powerful ice attacks that freeze entire groups of enemies, Frost has remained a classic defensive Warframe since the game's earliest days. Nova. Despite her appearance, Nova is one of the most dangerous Warframes ever created. She manipulates antimatter, allowing her to create explosions powerful enough to erase entire groups of enemies. Her signature ability, Molecular Prime, slows or even speeds up enemies while causing devastating chain reactions. Because of her incredible crowd control and damage, Nova has remained a favorite in endgame content for over a decade.